Hey guys, I'm Captain Phil.
Captain Bob.
Welcome to the Baitshop Banter Podcast. We're here to talk to you about fishing along the Gulf Coast and other areas of Florida and the entire United States. We're going to be flowing through this. We're going to ask questions. We're going to bring different captains on. More than anything, we're here to give information out on what we've seen in the past, what's happening right now in the water, and really to help you catch some more fish. So, I'm Captain Phil. I've been a fishing guide out of here in Clearwater, Bel Air, specifically for the last 7 years. I was born in Florida, raised on the other coast, or raised on this coast of Florida, up north here in Palm Harbor, and got into fishing as a young kid and been doing it ever since pretty much. So now it's my way I make a living.
I guess you got better at it.
Well, I got a little bit better at it, yeah. I actually catch fish now.
Yeah, it saved so much for me. I'm Captain Bob. I grew up in New Jersey. 90% of my fishing was done up there, but I recently moved down here about 5 years ago. Worked as a deckhand and got my own license. Now I run my own boat here and been running out of Bel Air for about a year now. Met Phil along the way. I do offshore though, so at least we don't have to interject too much with each other.
Exactly. I'm all inshore, near shore.
Yep, and everything I do is anywhere from 9 miles out and on.
Yep.
Or on the beach, depending on the time of year.
Or if it's too wavy for his 36-foot boat, he'll just fish inshore for trout,
Hey,
follow me around all day.
The kids got to have a good time too.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Don't want to get seasick.
No, not at all. Lately in the fishing world, you know, we've been targeting a lot of inshore species of fish, trout, snook, redfish. All the fishing's been pretty good lately. And offshore fishing, Bob's been crushing the red snapper and red grouper.
We're doing good with the red groupers, red snappers on our longer trips, so anything extended longer than a full day. And then also on our shorter trips, we've been getting a lot of hogfish, grunts, sea bass, porgies, you know, your typical catch that we would see on a half-day, 6-hour trip.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good stuff to be out there fishing, having a good time doing it with good people, and that's what's most important, creating memories for your family. So for the next segment of the podcast, we are going to do a feature interview. And because this is kind of our first episode here, we're going to interview Bob, and then maybe the next episode, Bob will interview me, and then we're going to bring in a whole ton of different charter captains, local fishermen, and some fishing legends to interview. So you guys can get information not just on Clearwater fishing, but fishing around the entire United States and perhaps the world. So we're going to jump right into our interview segment. I'm going to go ahead and interview Bob today. So Bob, welcome.
Questions are already set, huh?
The questions are already set. I got the set questions. Trying to make this easy on you, bro. So we're going to go ahead and interview Bob today. Bob, how long have you, when did you get into charter fishing? How did you get into it? What's the story?
So, I've been fishing my whole life. Started out when I was like 2 years old, fishing with my dad, my grandfather. When I turned about 13 though, we had this program where I grew up called Junior Mates. Really big program up there. It's to take kids that are still in school and they want to learn how to become a deckhand or get into the industry. And that's where I started. I started out working on a charter boat under a deckhand. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, unpaid deckhand.
Yep.
And you know, I learned along the way there, and actually got picked up by a boat from an older guy. He's in his 70s when I started and about to retire completely, but I worked 2 years with him and learned the ins and outs of the industry and, you know, upkeep of a boat and how to clean fish and keep everything tidy and take care of the customers.
Yep. All the things that when they say, I want to be a captain, those are the things that, you know, it's time to do captainship.
Yeah. The biggest thing I can tell you is the problem with a lot of people that get their captain's license is they go, oh, I'm the captain.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
We call that chromanitis. Where
I
they just want to hold on to the chrome
paper
steering.
captains.
Yeah, paper captains, exactly. Not the real work. So How did you go from that and jump into charter fishing?
So, I mean, like I said, when I started out working on that boat with that guy, I got into the charter game and worked as a deckhand, and then I worked on and off on a couple head boats up in the Northeast, fishing on the weekends on them, working as a full-time mechanic. I used to fix, you know, boats for a living, and I got tired of the cold.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
Exactly. So you moved down here, he started fishing down here on different boats, and Bob recently started in the last year started his own business now, and he's been doing very, very well with it. A lot of times, just as long as I've been doing it, you watch people kind of come in and come out of the industry. In fact, I had a phone call from one of the guides in the area today. He said, hey, do you want to buy my stuff? I'm out. And I'm like, all right, cool. No, but thank you, I appreciate it. But you know, this is one of those industries that there's true professionals, and then there's the unfortunately younger kids that kind of get in and get out. But very few times do you meet somebody like I met Bob that he's a true professional. And that's what I liked about you, and that's why I was, you know, wanting to be your friend. Because I can tell, and I love that. So it's a great thing. What is your favorite time of year to fish?
If we're talking about around here,
Yeah, around here.
I really like the late winter, early spring, especially for hog fishing. It's one of my favorite things to do. But when we get closer to June, like end of May, June, we start to get super busy for the red snappers. June, July, August this year, and we actually get 2 weeks of September, which is really nice.
That's awesome.
We were super busy for June and July, running 10-hour, 12-hour trips a day, or even running a 4-hour and turning around and doing an 8-hour in the afternoon.
Yep.
I ran way more than I thought I was going to. But I do definitely enjoy fishing in June and July a lot. I do like the long trips. I like going out to the blue water and fishing in the deeper stuff. And
that deep
getting
blue
away
water.
from everybody.
Yep, that deep blue water is something else, isn't it?
Yeah, get to turn my phone off. That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
Just go airplane mode.
Airplane mode, and we're done.
And
for
we're
the day.
driving.
We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Crank the music and hang out.
That's right. I love it too. I get offshore whenever I can on buddies' boats and things like that, and it is definitely special to be out there. So I totally understand the red snapper game that we love down here. Tell me about your most memorable catch here in the Gulf.
In the Gulf,
Yeah.
I'd have to say this day we got 3 tunas in a row.
That's badass.
And we weren't very far.
Blackfins, right?
Yeah, 3 big blackfins. They were all 20+ pounds.
Yep.
We had a group of guys that originally had a half-day charter booked with us, and I was a deckhand. And we talked to them into, hey, listen, the captains this morning caught 2 or 3 blackfins, and we know where they are. We know where we caught them, but we need a little longer. So they ended up doing an extra hour on their trip. And when we pulled up, they were crashing on the surface.
That's sick.
Less than 20 miles.
So you're less than 20 miles. To give you guys an idea, that's approximately
Hour and 15 minutes.
70 to 80 feet of water.
Even less.
Yeah, 65 feet of water. You're talking about shallow water tunas crashing the surface. And it's a rarity. And that usually happens somewhere around April, around here, April, May.
About the first week of May.
Yeah, depending on when they show up in those water temps.
The kingfish were there too, so what happened is when we got out there, we found a big pile of Spanish sardines, which is normally what the blackfins are around.
Yep.
We're like, oh, let's go trawl around them. We put the big rapalas. I'm talking giant ass ones.
Yep.
Put them out, and I couldn't even get the first one out. I put it up in the holder. It's on. I'm like, we know that's not a kingfish.
Game on.
It's almost spooled that 16 VS pen.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not like a 30 wide, but like half the size of a 30 wide.
That's sick.
Almost spooled that thing.
That's
We're like,
sick.
whoa. So I got that one to the boat and gaffed it right in the eyeball.
Yep.
Captain at the time's like, if you gaff it anywhere else, you're fired.
Don't mess up that meat. Don't mess up that meat.
What he didn't know is that I grew up in the Northeast, and that's where we gaff all our tunas. If you gaff it somewhere else, guess what? Somebody's going to be yelling at you.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, you got to keep the meat fresh. Head's the best place to gaff a tuna.
Yep.
Different types of fish you can gaff different places, but what Bob's saying is he's trying to keep that meat prime.
Yeah. So we ended up getting 3 of them.
That's awesome.
They were all like 25+ pounds.
Love
then
it.
We moved back into one of the places we had been fishing for the king mackerel, and they were there. I couldn't even get the planers out.
Yeah.
I was throwing the spoon out on we'd run 30-foot leaders on our planers. Kingfish were skying the spoons behind the boat, dude.
That's
it was
so sick.
nuts. The one went like 15 feet in the air. We're like, whoa! And I was like, oh!
Let me put the bait in the water now.
I gotta release it because it almost ripped the rod out of my hands. So we ended up catching, 20 or 30 of them. So we had a great trip with them. They had an absolute blast. That was probably my coolest trip.
That's sick.
I really like catching the blackfin here. They're so hard to target around here, but they're so much fun.
And I agree with you. Like over the years that I've fished here, we found that sometimes they show up in that April, May time frame, and at that spot, I know kind of what you're talking about.
Think back to May. I told you, I was like, hey, I got my regular. We're gonna go. We got one guy.
We're gonna go tuna fishing.
We're gonna go try and catch a tuna.
Yep. And you did. You freaking did.
We got one bite, but we got him.
It's one of those things that we don't really target here in this part of the Gulf a whole lot, but when they're here, it's pretty exciting to go after them. I've had days where I've been out there too, just with my buddies, and we've landed 3 of them in a day.
You're selfish?
It's just like unbelievable. We'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, it's remarkable the kind of cool stuff that happens here on occasion. So we love it. What's one piece of advice you wish every client knew before stepping foot on your boat?
This is a big one, Phil.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to.
We
don't need to insult anybody, but sometimes I want to know.
If you think you're going to get seasick, or if you have any inclination that you're going to get motion sickness, take your Dramamine the night before, and then eat your dinner. And then in the morning take it, then eat a light breakfast. I'm not talking pancakes and ham and cheese and all that fancy stuff in the morning. I'm talking like a donut or a bagel and a cup of coffee.
Yep.
With your Dramamine, and it will help. I promise you that. A lot of my regular guys that come out that do get seasick, they're like, yeah, we just take Dramamine the night before now and the morning of, and we're good to go.
Exactly. That's smart. I like that.
Yeah.
I've never really heard of the night before idea. I kind of like that. My clients, because I'm more inshore and nearshore, if I hit the pass and it's choppy, we're just going to be inshore and be done with it.
Yep. I look at my people, man. If
you're like, hold on,
dudes. They go like this. I go,
okay, we're good. Yeah. that's a whole different ballgame. I mean, people throw up on my boat all the time.
It's a normal occurrence.
It's a normal occurrence. So it's like, never feel bad about it. There's ways to prevent it. Let me ask you a follow-up question on that. What, in your opinion, have you seen as the best solution to seasickness in the moment?
Okay, in the moment.
I'm sick. I don't have any way to get better. We're 45 miles offshore. Okay. What do I do?
I'm putting you in the back of the boat to start. There's going to be the least amount of rock there.
Yep.
You're taking your socks and your shoes off, and you're putting your feet in a bucket of seawater.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that.
And we're going to keep you sitting straight up and down. Now, we're going to give you some water, too, maybe some pretzels or some crackers.
Yeah.
But your water, you're only allowed to take a capful at a time. You cannot take big sips.
Because it's coming right back up?
Yep. You want to keep that esophagus smaller.
Yeah. I've heard that, and I've never tried it because I've never really been super seasick.
I've never been seasick in my life, so.
That you jump in the water and you instantly feel better. I don't know if any of you guys at home can kind of key in on the comments, what helps you when you feel seasick, but that's one thing that I've heard.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people say that too. You hop in the water. I think it has to do with...
You're rocking with the water rather than on the water?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has to do more with the fluid in your ears.
Yeah, the
equilibrium. A lot of people, they get all messed up because you're doing a constant rock back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever heard of dock rock?
Yeah.
So I don't get dock rock.
I don't either.
But I have had people call me. They'd be like, we were out there all day. I got home, I took a shower and looked up and went, whoa.
Yep.
Like, how do you do that? Like, I don't experience it anymore. It's like I don't get seasick. I've only ever been sick twice on a boat now, actually. Once lately, which I think you saw me that day.
I did not.
Oh, I was dying.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
We had to come in from 40 miles. My deckhand, who's also a captain at the time, I had to have him drive the boat home. I sat in a beanbag the whole. I've never done that.
Eating that humble pie.
We got about 9 miles. I got up, ran to the back of the boat, and spewed. And I was like,
"Wow!"
I was like, "I'm definitely sick." He's like, "How do you know?" I'm like, "I don't." And it was glass. I'm like, "I do not get seasick." Like, I've just never been seasick. The only other time that's happened, it was hot, but I actually got food poisoning because my wife and then my kids ended up getting it the next day.
I don't do it.
The only other time I got seasick though, we were tuna fishing out in the canyons up in the Northeast, and nobody told me that my Gatorade fell into the flat of butterfish. Which, if you know what a butterfish is, that's a fish about yay big, looks like a silver dollar, and it was sitting in the juice. And nobody told me that when they picked up my Gatorade like this, because it was sitting like that in the juice, and put it back over.
Oh,
I took a big old sip, and that ham and cheese tasted great the second time.
Yep, no thank you. No thank you.
Oh, that was a bad night. About an hour later, though, we ended up getting 9 yellowfins, so it was pretty good.
Oh, that works. Yeah. So that's his piece of advice: is take your Dramamine the night before, take your Dramamine the day of. Eat a light breakfast. I definitely agree with that. It helps for sure. The other thing that I see a lot is people get hot and then the seasickness bothers them more. So bringing cooling rags, especially if you're coming down here to go fishing with us anytime in the summertime. A lot of sunscreen, that always helps.
Try to avoid the spray. And I know I speak for 95% of the charter captains around here, especially me. If you can avoid the spray, that is awesome, because when you spray it and it gets on all the fiberglass, it turns into a slip and slide.
Yep.
If you can use a rub it in.
I always tell people, put it in your hand and then put it on your body. It's easier that way.
Yep. About the size of a quarter is all you really need.
Yep. What gear, bait, or technique is your go-to when the bite gets tough?
If we're talking groupers, we like to use our frozen thread fins. A lot of the captains, I know, they like to thaw them out, and I don't understand why. Because, a thread fin, if it gets...
it'll fall apart.
Right, it turns into mush.
Yep.
I'd rather send them down a popsicle.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll break out a new box of bait if I got to and send out a popsicle. And if that doesn't work, I'll take, a bycatch of what we've caught, a grunt or a porgy or something like that, something that we don't need to measure, and chop them up, send them right back down.
You love that, don't you?
We get bigger fish.
Yeah,
or we catch Spanish mackerel the day before. I'll take Spanish mackerel heads. Man. That's a big thing.
I was going to say, that's one of my biggest grouper I've ever caught, came off a Spanish mackerel head.
Yep. They love them. I think it just has to do with oil in them.
Yeah.
When I worked up there at Clearwater, we would keep probably 7 or 8 bags, like 40, 50 heads of Spanish mackerel. So it's frozen in the bait freezer.
Grouper bait.
We used to fight over them in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the place I worked had 2 boats. He'd be like, hey, dip my mackerel heads. No. I get on the boat, I'm like, really?
That's hilarious. Spanish mackerel heads and fresh cut bait is what Bob's best technique is when the bite gets tough. How have things changed in the water over the years? Have you seen a lot of changing in fishing pressure patterns or weather adjustments?
I know
we'll keep it specific to Clearwater. I know you have a lot of experience in the Northeast.
It's fine. I'm with
but
that.
Just over your 5-6 years down here doing this.
Yeah,
what
I
have you seen?
When I started here, I noticed, and I'm not saying it's any different than what it should be, but the first 2 years I was here, there was a lot of rainstorms in June, July.
Yep.
And I'm talking a lot like wicked fronts. And lately, I mean, past couple of years, I haven't seen as many. I mean, they still, don't get me wrong, they're still around.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like the weather pattern has to do with, you know, wherever the highs and lows are throughout the country. That's really it for that.
Weather patterns changing.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as the fish pattern goes and the pressure,
I mean,
there's way more kicker boats out there than there used to be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm going 50, 60 miles and I'm finding 21-foot boats.
Yep.
And you're like, what?
So, I mean, that's a really great point that you bring up. Is he's saying is he's seeing more like bay boats, smaller boats make that run out to 50, 60 plus miles. And, you know, we'll discuss this over the, you know, weeks we do more podcasting, but realistically, the reliability of the motors has increased so much that single engine boats with decent sized fuel tanks can really make long runs.
It's not Grandpa's two-stroke anymore.
Yeah, it's not the two-stroke anymore. You got a four-stroke motor. I mean, isn't Yamaha's slogan, reliability comes standard, I think, or something like that?
Yeah,
it's one of those things you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, it's one of those things where people are comfortable venturing out further.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. You look at it this way. The past couple, you know, I'd say 5 or 6 years now, you know, between Mercury, Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki. I mean, we see a lot of Suzukis out there.
Yeah, now
I think it's just kind of, you know, with their price point.
The price point's great on Suzuki's.
I mean, I've always liked Hondas. I just don't like how much they weigh.
Yeah.
You know, it's my opinionated question there.
Mercury's out of Bel Air, this boat ramp, there are the 3 of the 4 offshore boats that run out of here, and Bob's the 4th. He's running Yamahas. They all run Suzuki's because the reliability has increased so much over the years, and Suzuki's done a wonderful job with their motors.
And their guide program's actually really good.
Exactly. So that's one of the things that Bob's seen. I like that. It's very good. If you go fishing on your day off, what are you fishing for, and what's your favorite thing to do on the water?
I mean, if it's my day off and I'm actually gonna go fishing, because 95% of the time on my day off I'm sitting at home.
Yep. He's fishing for that couch.
I'm staring at a wall. I don't even turn the TV on.
But Bob works hard. He's seriously one of the harder working captains I've seen out here. The guy ran. It was one day you had like an 8-hour and then like a couple hour break.
I turn around and
then you had like an
18-hour.
18-hour overnight. I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like we all love making money, but that was to an extreme, and I give you a ton of credit.
I mean, hey, it was a good trip.
So
both
you're
trips,
allowed to fish for the couch on your day off.
I mean, if I'm going fishing on my day off, you know, bring the wife and the kids. I'm going to catch some hogfish.
Yeah,
you know, the wife really likes catching gag groupers, so I try to find a few places where we can catch them.
That's cool.
But you know, I enjoy catching the hogfish, and my kids love catching grunts because it's constant action for them. You know, they're like the cockroaches out there.
That's right. What do you love about hogfish so much?
I just like the way they fight.
They fight
good,
growing
up,
they?
You know, fishing for tautog or blackfish, as I know them as, you know, it's the same style of fight. You're sitting there on the bottom with a little bit of slack, and it's the faintest bite, and it's just like a tap, and you're like, wait, that doesn't feel right.
So hard.
Yeah, and on 20-pound braid and 30-pound fluorocarbon, I mean, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Little 1-ounce knocker rig with a 1-ounce with
I'll even go lighter if I can.
Yeah, I love it. So. Yeah, hog fishing is a lot of fun. It's something that's been pioneered on the Gulf Coast, especially out of this area, Clearwater, Johns Pass area, over the last 10 years or so. Hog fishing used to not be a big thing, and it's growing in popularity because out in the Bahamas, they spearfish for them. But over here, we've started to pick up ways to catch them hook and line. So there's a lot of different techniques. We'll go over some of those at some point. But a lot of fun, really great fight, and probably up there in some of the best eating fish in the ocean.
I'd rank it top 5.
Yeah,
at least for me.
I don't think I could go top 3, but I agree with top 5. They're really wonderful fish, and they're unique. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're
crazy
ugly,
cool
they're
looking.
Ugly as hell.
Yeah, they're ugly as hell, but beautiful in the same way.
They look like a rooster fish combined up with like a grunt,
snapper,
like a grunt.
Yeah,
with
the
some
mouth.
weird ass teeth.
Yeah, weird teeth. We'll throw a picture up right here. There you go. Yeah. That's a hogfish. Cool. Well, that will do it for the interview. Let's jump into some seasonal fishing. Let's talk about some seasonal things that are happening right now. So one of the unique things that's been happening here in Clearwater recently is the cobia bite has actually gotten really good.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures from you.
Yeah, we've been doing all right with them. So over the years, and I'll just talk about my experience, last, we'll call it 7 years of guiding, my average cobia catch in a year might be 4 or 5 fish. You know, it's really not something that we go target, that we find spots for, or do anything with, at least here. Now, I know there's different places north and south of here where you can go target cobia and have a really great time doing it, but it's never something we've really had here.
It's a big thing up in Chesapeake. They follow all the rays around.
Oh, God.
I figured out how to catch them here, too, on my charters. You know, go fish a lot of the local wrecks.
Yeah,
you know,
the local wrecks.
I don't have a problem saying that one out loud. But
no, it's fine.
Go fish a lot of local wrecks out there with a tom tate.
Yep, yeah.
60-pound leader. Drop them down, let them hang out. I mean, It's 8 out of 10 times you're not going to catch one, but I mean, I ended up with 8 or 9 keepers last year to like 35 pounds.
And that's unbelievable catch. That's really great numbers. Like my trips right now, I'm running 4-hour nearshore trips, and we're still landing 2 to 3 a trip, which is insane.
And they
numbers.
fight hard.
They fight hard.
They fight way harder than you would expect, especially if you're coming out here on vacation.
Yeah.
I want to catch something cool.
I mean, you get it.
Listen,
like,
we're going to catch a
cobia like this is a wonderful fish to catch.
And for us, we hear cobia, we're like, oh yeah, it's brown and white. People hear, oh, it's kind of ugly. We're like, no, but it fights really hard. And they're like, I don't get it. And then they actually hook one. They're like,
I got a shark! It's always, I got a shark! It's not a shark, it's a cobia. What is a cobia?
Because their tails are so tall.
That's a cobia. It's funny, it's all the time. It happened to me yesterday. Oh, we got one on. Oh, it's a shark. No, it's a cobia. It's okay.
It's a little guy.
The little guy. But they're so much fun to catch. And we've been seeing them on our nearshore reefs. It's always structured. They're always hiding over structure. A lot of times we're just doing basic bottom fishing, and I use like split shots. We'll show you some rigs at some point. But I'm just basically dropping baits down, and we're catching them on the way up. That or what Bob said. We caught a really big one yesterday, and it was on a grunt that we dropped down. And you usually hang them about 5 feet off the bottom or off the structure, and that grunt will just sit there and dig and dig and dig, and the next thing you know, there's no more digging, and the rod's just bent over. So cobia fishing's been really great. We're watching that species kind of bounce back in this area, which is awesome. And it's been really good. So I figure it'll stay here for a little bit till the water starts cooling off, probably October, November. It might fade out a little bit, but at that point, they kind of move inshore from time to time. We got some spots a little bit north of here that are pretty good. So
my buddy does really good in the wintertime up on the flats.
Yep, you go on the flats, by our power plant, for example, where the warm water is spewing out. Those cobia love to sit in the pockets in there. So yeah, cobia fishing's been really good lately. And we dig it because it's something different, something unique. It's something we haven't really had a lot.
It's not like your normal catch on a half-day inshore trip.
Yeah, it's definitely not a super common catch, so we love it. This section we would call listener Q&A or call in, but we don't have anybody right now since it's our first episode. Hey, what's up, Bob? So, you guys can drop comments down, and this will be a great time to say, hey, we'd love to hear you guys talk about this or that. Shoot us some messages, some comments down here, and we'll pull them up. We're going to answer all of them on camera right in this section. So we'd love to help you guys out, give you any tips, tricks, or know-how that we know. We're here to share. There's some things we won't give, like exact spots, but we will tell you kind of everything
over there. Where's the fish at?
West. West. Go west and you'll find them.
How deep did you get them?
All the way to the fish.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the answer. So sorry, but not sorry. We'll give you the information. We'll give you some relative depths and things to look for.
Can only give you so much out of the hat.
Exactly. And if you want all the hat, come fish with us. Cool. So now we're going to jump into a section called Conservation Corner. This is when we kind of talk about sustainability or local regulation themes, things that we've seen on the water and don't mind discussing. So I'm going to jump on this one. We're going to have FWC person join us here in a couple weeks, and we're talking about barotrauma or the Descend Act, how we have to descend fish back down. So we're going to kind of stay away from that right now. I'm going to jump into my favorite topic. Snook. He's like, he knew it. I didn't even have to say it. He knew it.
Let me ask you a question, right?
Fire away.
All right. So we can keep one. It's one at 28 to 32 or 33.
It's 28 to 33. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, growing up in the Northeast, we had a moratorium on striped bass. Do you think that that's something that you guys should have here for say 3 to 5 years, like you're talking about doing with gag grouper?
Yeah. So that's a really great question. I think that snook fishing. I look at it from a different angle. I look at it from a guide's perspective.
Okay.
And I know that the people are coming down here and they're paying great money, but in my 7 years, I've never killed a snook. And I refuse to be honest with you. It's not something that I'd be interested in doing because I don't feel like there's enough of them in our particular area. So if you go 2 hours south of here, talk about Charlotte Harbor, Boca Grande, they're a dime a dozen. I can go out and catch 20, 30 snook in a day and really not put a lot of effort out. Now, are we gonna get a keeper snook? That's a really, really tight slot. So the answer is maybe, maybe not. But I will look at it from this angle. Charter captains probably shouldn't be allowed to catch and kill snook because with
I would agree to that.
30 charter captains, let's call it 30 inshore charter captains between Dunedin and Clearwater. If we killed 1 snook a day, if we were lucky enough to find that 28 to 32, there's 32 snook right there every single day.
You do the math. It's like what we talk about with that, any kind of conservation. If you got 65 rec guys, 30 charter guys. Well, the rec guys get out 2 days a week.
Yep.
At
if they're
most
lucky.
Saturday, Sunday. Given the weatherman is right, which never is.
Yep.
You think about it like that. Look at the red snapper.
Yep.
Same kind of thing.
Yep.
I know we're talking about snook, but you get charter guys that are killing
It's the
one
same
snook
point.
a day,
Yeah.
you know, and now you're killing, say it's 30, it's 50 a day, right? Call it 50 a day.
Yeah.
Times 5, that's 250 snook a week.
Yeah, and
And in a local place, that's a lot.
our locality can't maintain that type of killing and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's really great because a lot of the charter captains, inshore guides around here are pretty much on board with that. You know, there's no regulation that says you can't, but we know better, so we don't, right? So I would say, if we were to look at the snook population, it's okay. I wouldn't call it strong. I would call it okay. And I think there's different areas around here that have more, have less. But possibly, like if you guys come down to Florida and you're on vacation, and you know snook season's open, which is a super narrow season anyways,
2 months?
in a slot, yeah, 2 months at best. And it's not when they're around, the 20 to 32s specifically.
I feel like they do that on purpose.
Let's say you're out fishing on the beach and you catch a 30-inch snook. You want to kill it? I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
So don't think that I'm saying don't kill snook ever. I'm not going prude with this. What I'm saying is charter captains should be the ones that need to be watched out for, and I'm one of them, and not doing those things because we can put a hurt on a fish population. So give us a little bit stricter regulations there. I'd be all right to, you know, shoulder that one, but let the recreational guys, if they want to kill a couple here and there, it's no big deal. By all means, I want you guys
I mean,
to.
the actions of a few don't outweigh the actions of many. you
Well,
know?
exactly
like, so
right.
You think about it, rec guys with
Yep.
a few. You know, the charter guys, you know, guys are out there every day.
Yeah, every day.
You know,
I mean,
and if it's not every day, it's every other day. But
we have
at the end of the day, you know, you're killing 3 times, 4 times as many fish as they normally would.
As normally would, yep. So we're the ones that need to be watched out for sure. Scott, he's a local guy here. We'll have him on the show at some point. He specifically fishes for snook, and the guy does it every day. I would put him up there with the best snook fisherman in the entire world. I mean, I would go ahead and say it. I don't care. He fishes
I've never met him.
300 days a year, probably, and the guy catches about 1,200 snook a year. And he logs all of his snook. He has a book. And he kills 1 snook a year to eat for himself because he knows the numbers aren't there. So with that being said,
You forgot to change the battery.
yeah, no, I think the battery's fine. I think it has a timer. It shut off. It's okay. We're just going to go like this anyways.
Welcome to the dark side.
Got to love our beautiful faces, right? So that's kind of one thing that I would take a look at, that and then the use of circle hooks. You know,
That's a big thing.
It's
I mean,
it's a big thing.
working on the headboat, you see a lot of guys breaking out J hooks. You know, and it's like, hey guys, you know, the regulation is circle
hooks.
You know, and I've heard from a few different people that if WC does stop you, you can have the J hooks on the boat. Because if you're live bait fishing, you can, I think if I'm right there, you can use J hooks when you're live bait fishing. But when you're dead bait fishing, if you have any kind of circle hook on there, you're good. If you have a J hook on there, it's like 50 or 60 bucks a ticket.
Yeah, a hook.
For a hook.
Right? For a
Yeah,
hook,
for a
yeah.
hook.
So it's one of those things we want to watch out for. My inshore fishing, I use all like owner, MUTU light circles. Size depends on bait, but the one thing that I love about these circle hooks is they're offset. So if I was to hold this up to the camera, it would kind of have a bend to it a little bit. So even if my clients are like hook set happy, if you will, they won't miss that many
Bill
fish.
Dance, if we
Yeah,
call them, right?
yeah. You can go on Bill Dance that mess, you can do it. But for the clients that don't pay attention or set the rods in the rod holders like we do in redfish fishing, this really helps you know, the fish from being killed.
Is your Rodney a pretty good guy too?
Oh, Rodney's one of the
Rodney
best hook
catches-
setters.
whew.
He sets so many dang hooks.
He's never late.
Nope.
He's always on time, and he always does a good job. That's all I care about.
Rodney's the rod holder on the boat. We call
Yeah.
Rodney sets hooks more than most of us
My
do.
trip the other day, the guy only wanted to catch a keeper or a grouper. I put big bait down in a rod holder.
Boom.
About 10 minutes later, I'm like, hey, pick that up. He's like, what?
Oh,
The rod's
Rodney's got it.
It's like Rodney for the win.
That's right. That's right. So I don't know. I don't mind using these. We don't miss a ton of fish on them. But yeah, circle hooks are important. I do like those owners. So there's my light shout out to owner. And the other thing that I have up here on the desk
I hate
is
that one.
This one you hate?
I hate that one.
See, it's so funny. Like this is the only one that I like. So this is a Baker hook out. It's a D-hooker. It's stainless steel, spring loaded, and this will help you get any of those hooks out that are down the fish's
I used the
throat.
old school one.
Yeah.
It's a simple straight bar, and it's
Yep.
got like a V on the end of it. Slide it on,
Slide it in,
and
pop
use
it.
gravity.
Yep, that works.
Even if you got to just twist it to pop it, that's how I like
The
to do
reason
it.
why I like this one is because it has a long shaft here to help.
I knew you'd like
that
long
mine just
shafts.
bit me. That will help you get sharks and stuff, hooks out of sharks' mouths too. So you don't have to get your hand too close.
You see the video the other day?
Huh?
You see the video of the guy the other day?
No, what do you
He
do?
got bit, so they caught a shark, like somewhere south of here, I think, or on the East Coast. And his friend decided to go up behind the shark while they were trying to get the hook out. And that's one thing you never do. I don't know how much shark fishing you've done on the beach, but I've done a decent amount of it. when you're taking the hook out, the person that's supposed to be holding the tail should already be on the tail.
Yeah.
His friend decided to walk up behind the shark while he's on top of it. And he's
grab
not
the tail.
holding anything. He's just over top.
Oh, no.
And he touched the tail, and that shark turned around, and it took out a big chunk about this big off the front half of his leg.
And that's why they now have shark fishing classes you have to take to have a license to shark fish from the beach.
There's a certification you have to get through FWC in order to shark fish on the beach. You have to have a few certain things there with you, and if you do get stopped, you're getting a ticket.
Yeah, you are. They don't care about that. There's definitely different regulations around here, and we'll continue to talk about them, but it's a great point. Get your shark certification so you can go shark fish on the beach, and if you don't, they'll come after you because it's new, so it's something they look at,
Especially if it's protected species. And I get it. I know you can't tell what you've hooked, but a lot of the guys really like to target the hammerheads or the big brown sharks that we get here, or sandbars. Sandbar sharks that have become a very prevalent issue.
Oh, we caught 5 yesterday. I mean, they're all small like this, but I caught 5 of them.
Oh, yours are small?
Yeah.
Mine are all 8 foot.
Yours are all massive. I know.
My red snapper fishing right now, we're lucky to get 2-3 fish up on a spot. I mean, we're hitting the bottom. Like, all right, so don't even go to the bottom. Just count to 10. Stop it at like 90, 100 foot, wherever, depending on how deep we are. And where I can see them out in the machine. Like, all right, stop it there. Okay. All right, they're on.
Get them up, get them up.
Crank like hell. They're like, what? I'm like, you need to crank like you're trying to run for your life from the cops.
Yep.
And everybody just looks at me like I'm weird. And then when they actually hook the fish, and I'm like, I'm not yelling at you, I'm yelling for you, and I'm screaming at you going, turn the handle! Like, you just gotta turn the handle. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to yell at you.
It's because he wants them to get the fish up. The shark issue
and
that we have in the Gulf.
And then they get 5 cranks in, and they're like, yeah, it's a big, oh, we got even bigger.
Yeah,
like,
you got bigger,
no,
you got upgraded.
You got toothed.
Yeah. It's one of those things, the shark issue
now it goes chompy. It doesn't go snappy. Now it's a chomper.
Yeah, it's a chomper.
They're like, oh, what do we do now? I'm like, I don't know, figure it out. Well, in a nice way,
and then if fish comes up and you get their head or they get the whole thing and it's game over.
Yeah, so. We brought a grouper up the other day. I mean, he was probably 20, 22 inches. Probably would have been legal. Yeah, we got the gills.
Yeah, there you go. You got gills.
And part of the lips.
It doesn't count. They got to throw that back in the water.
Eyeballs.
Yeah.
Could have got the cheeks off it. That might have been about it.
Oh, that'd been good.
But it's not like
still illegal. But still illegal to do that.
Right, because you can't mutilate fish while you're out there or have any kind of fillets.
Yep.
So unless you're on a 36-hour or more trip.
We're going to go over all those different regulations over time too, and we'll talk more about sharks and the shark issue that we have here because it's getting out of hand real quick. And we'll probably bring FWC in to talk to them about that because we'd love to hear their side of things.
And we'll bring up about the new Shark Act that's being introduced to the Supreme Court. I don't know if you've read about that either.
I did read about that, so they're going to start allowing us to start killing more sharks.
Yeah, they're talking about taking the ban off of a few certain species.
Yep.
Like sandbars is one of them, I think.
Sandbars is one that they're probably the most aggressive
about
species.
Lowering the size for certain sharks, like bull sharks, which had to be 54 inches. Now, I have one group of guys that really want to kill one. We haven't made it that far yet. Because every time we hook one, none of them can turn the handle.
Yeah.
We got one the other day with like 10 foot.
Real strong.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, I think that will wrap up our first episode. We appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to continue to pump these out once a week. We'll be filming on Wednesdays and hopefully getting them posted by Friday after editing. Next episode, Bob will probably take the time to interview me, and then after that, we will move on to bringing guests on. So if you are local in the area and you want to be on the podcast, feel free to reach out to us. Just drop a comment or DM us, and we'll take care of it. But from myself and Bob, we appreciate you guys stopping by and look forward to our next episode.
Hope you guys have a good night.
High five.
Tight lines.